What's up, you bastards? Welcome back to It's Tough, the magnum.traub podcast. Today on It's Tough, we actually have the first person with a Wikipedia page, Evan King. The first one, and we're going to talk. It's been a few weeks since I've done one of these, but he said he'd want to do one if I was willing, and of course I'm willing.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's awesome to have you here. You know, you're actually a successful person, finally. Not just a young kid that I found. Or found me.
Depends how you value success. But now I'm trying, man. I'm doing my thing, playing my tennis. Had a good career thus far, going through everything.
Yeah, how old are you?
It's good. 28.
28. I mean, still, though, you got up to 100 and something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome in the eyes of someone who's played tennis and stuff. Like, that's no joke.
No, like, totally. For me, like, I still have higher ambitions in tennis, but to a certain extent, I've reached the majority of my goals. Like, my goals were to be able to play each Grand Slam. I've been able to play qualies of everything. I played main draw in U.S. Open a couple times, and I've had success at every level that I've played at. So man, it's cool. Like, it's tough as hell, but it's a cool gig to have. Yeah,
I mean, if you're into it, if you like to travel, if you like to do stuff and new experiences, I think it'd be pretty awesome, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's your goal. Like, as a tennis player, as an athlete, you're achieving, like, what you want, you know?
Totally, and it's weird. I guess it's different. Like, it's a one-on-one sport. It's not like I'm rolling through with, like, a whole team of everything, accomplishing everything as a team. It's like I'm putting my best against someone else's best. It's something like, obviously it's not like a combat sport, but it's a one-on-one sport.
Yeah, and it's
like
just you.
mano. It's you against you. If I lose, there's no one to blame but myself. Yeah. If I win, like, obviously you got coaches, you got trainers, you got everyone that helps you, but like I put my best against their best, and there's something good about coming through. It's you
completing it at the end, right?
Yeah.
So you went to Michigan, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
No, it was fun, man.
How was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was a good balance of athletics and academics. And academics I really didn't care about at the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was part of the reason I went there, because I knew it was like good academically. But I mean, the athletics culture there was top notch. Like, the budget's massive, football's ridiculous, and the culture around that's ridiculous. Which I'm sure you know about just being down here, because I feel like in Florida and the South in general, like, football's a religion.
Yeah,
like,
I went to FSU.
Yeah, so
for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
And before I left, I mean, I used to play tennis until I was like 16, 17, and then it was too much for me. I had to like finally pull out, you know, couldn't do it anymore. But when I went to college, I was like, damn, I wish I played. Because when you play a sport at college, you're actually someone. Yeah. You actually have value. People care about you, you know, unless you're like a frat boy or something else like that. Mm-hmm. But that's a way to like still be your own person, and people like automatically are into you.
True, because a big ass school like Florida State, like, I'm sure it's pretty easy to get lost on campus.
Oh,
just like you're one of 50,000.
Yeah, one of 40,000 people that's just zombie, basically, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I didn't walk through in Michigan. I was like, yo, I'm the shit. Like, I'm no. in Michigan, because like in terms of athletics, like, tennis is low on the totem pole. Like, it's sweet being a Michigan athlete, but like, it's football, it's hockey, it's basketball, and then it's just like, oh, like tennis, other sports, like. It's
but imagine if you didn't play any sport.
Yeah, true.
Imagine if you're just there for school. Very true. You feel so like, you know, you have some meaning, but not especially if you don't know what you want to do in school. Mm-hmm. You know, you played tennis, you knew you wanted to go pro, you wanted to do this, you had your ambitions.
Yeah.
When you're just going to school and you don't even know what you're going to school for, and you don't have any meaning, that was my thing. I had nothing I was going to school for, nothing like that. So I'm like,
it's like, what am I
what's
really
the point of being
towards?
Here?
Like, no, that's completely different. Because now, like, as soon as I stepped on campus, like, there's like a schedule that is, it's forced upon you. It's not like forced, because like I still wanted to do it, but it's like, no, like, you have your class schedule, then you have your practice that you're going to 3 hours a day, and then after that, like, as a freshman, you have mandatory like study hours at our academic center,
advising and all that.
Yeah, and all that stuff. So like, you don't really have like time to think about like, yo, like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? It's like, boom, you're just like kind of thrown into the fire as a student athlete in general.
Yeah, and that's what's good about, like, for certain people, I thought, because I was always, like, brought up that I didn't have to go to college. But, like, people that are brought up, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
It's almost a more pleasant way. For me, it wouldn't be, because I kind of like the freedom to do what I want.
Yeah.
But being forced to do something actually gives you that structure that allows you to get so far without even having to think, without having to have any crises in your head.
Yeah, and that's a difference, like, right off the bat, like, how we were brought up too. Like, for me, like, I was a good tennis player in the juniors. I probably had the opportunity to attempt to go pro.
Yeah.
Like, I was I think I got to like 14 in the world in juniors. So like
ITF?
Yeah, in ITFs. So I had the opportunity to go, but like that was really never an option for me because like my parents just wouldn't sign off on it.
So they wanted you to go to school.
There's
period.
like yeah, you're going to school, period. You're staying all 4 years unless you win NCAAs and you win a couple rounds at the U.S. Open. Like my out was like crazy unrealistic.
Yeah.
So I mean that was just like a difference, and that
so
was like.
Do you think that was better or worse for your tennis?
For my tennis?
Yeah, like if for actually achieving that goal of tennis.
If my goal is to be the best tennis player that I could have potentially been.
Yeah. I
think for me the best thing would have been go for like 1 or 2 years. Yeah. I think 4 is a long time. And
you like get tired or something like that.
It's not just you get tired, you kind of lose. I can't say you. I'm just speaking for myself. Because for some people, like if you're ready to go pro and you're mentally cool with traveling at age 17, age 18, take a loss pretty much every week. Because let's say you play a full year on tour, a great year, maybe you win 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
That means you lost like 25 times. And like you're going somewhere to some random country, some random city you've never been where you're alone and whatever, and you don't know anybody, and you just lose and lose and lose. Mm-hmm. For me, 17-year-old me, 18-year-old me, I'm not handling that well. Like there's no chance. So for me, from a mental standpoint, and I was like a skinny kid. Yeah. Like, I'm still like not a big dude.
But you need to mature.
Like, I need to physically mature to like take those beatings and everything. And college was a good place to mentally grow up and you learn that there are other things other than tennis. Like I went to a tennis academy. I went to Everett for 2 years in Boca. And then like you're only surrounded by tennis. Everything is tennis, tennis, tennis. You go to Michigan, no one cares about tennis. Yeah. Like you meet a whole bunch of people, student athletes, non-student athletes.
It's like civilian life. Or civilian life, you know?
But it's just like, it keeps you like grounded. It's like, yo, like there's other things. Like it's chill. But then that can have like the other effect where it's just like, oh, like someone's going out on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, yo, why can't I do that or something like that? So 4 years for me was a long time because I can't say for 4 years I was like, I want to be a pro. I want to be a pro. How can I do this to be pro? I'd say like my first couple years I was really, really there and focused. And then the last 2 years I'm like, I'm going to be here for 4 years anyway. Like I might as well like enjoy college. Or like take the most out of it, or like meet a whole bunch of different people. Yeah, you relax a little bit. Or at least I relax a little bit. So I think like the best way to get good at something is to put all your energy into it and all your time and your investment and like all that kind of stuff into it. But
you get tired.
Yeah.
And you need other things. Like for me, that's how I started with this podcast. I was like super dedicated. This is all I'm going to do. This, that, and the other. This is all I wanted to do. And it's true. Like it really was fun for me and interesting, all this stuff. But then I started realizing I'm like, no one gives a fuck about what you're doing. If you aren't making money, if you aren't actually doing something, you know, your life hurts if you aren't making money, you know? So money becomes a little bit more important than the podcast.
That's
or
real.
Doing this, you know? Or if you don't have certain experiences in school and you're, you know, fuck, I just want to relax. I just want to take my time. I want to experience this. I want to experience that. You know, I want to know how they live and how, you know, why they pick their life over my life.
Totally.
Why is that? So you have to, I think it's healthy. Like, to be 100% dedicated to something, that's great. Yeah. And robots can do that.
And some people are wired like that.
Some people are machines. But I'm not. And I think it's good to, like, kind of, you know, spread it out.
Totally.
Learn from here, learn from there.
Totally. And that goes into, like, how I'm kind of doing my career now. Like, I travel a shit ton, man. Like I don't... Like, yeah, I'll play in the States, but, like, I really enjoy playing outside of the States more than I do the States.
I bet.
Just because... One, for tennis reasons, it's good to play a different crop of people. If I'm playing the same people every week, after like 2 days of seeing somebody, you're going to figure out how they play, like all that kind of stuff. They're going to figure you out, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So for tennis reasons, it's good to play different people. But like, I have the opportunity to like travel the world to really random places, and I get paid for it. Like, I'm not getting paid a lot, but I'm making enough to like make even and like not lose money on trips. So I'm like, okay, like I have the opportunity to go 2 weeks in Kazakhstan, 1 week in Uzbekistan. When the hell on earth am I ever going to be there? Yeah. Like, I have an excuse to do this. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to Bosnia for a week. I'm going to go to Australia for a week, like just to see random cultures, eat random food that like growing up I had no idea existed and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's a kind of cool random perk about the career as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's what like we talked about at the beginning before this. Because I said how we have to have something like to talk about, or just brought up certain ideas. And you said like guns, like you're gonna have a different perspective on guns. Now I'm gonna have a different perspective, and that's like one of the other reasons why I like this podcast. Is you can get a totally foreign perspective, but you actually can flesh out. So why do you think this way about this thing? You know. And that's pretty cool, and that's fun to actually experience. Yeah,
and it's good to have a conversation, learn something about another person, learn something about yourself. Because, like, like having a conversation, I'm going to talk about some shit I haven't thought of in, like, a long-ass time and be like, oh, like that's interesting. Like, so something like that. So, no, it's pretty cool, like, just being able to travel a shit ton. Because, Bradenton, Florida is way the hell different from Chicago. My view is going to be different than your views. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're both sitting in this chair, like, being able to talk some good shit about it and just see where people are coming from is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's real cool. So do you want to talk about what you think about guns? Sure.
Yeah, totally. Well, I guess like I grew up in Chicago, and like we have a bad rap for being, I don't even know if we're actually like the murder capital, but we're like up there in statistics and shit like that. So anytime like growing up, and even now, because like the media I expose myself to is like hip hop culture, just like
that
world kind
star.
of shit. Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of stuff. Like all I see for guns are like killing each other and shit like that. So, and then like no one in my family has died due to gun violence or anything, but like growing up in high school, elementary school, like I'm always like a friend of a friend away from someone who's gotten shot or someone who's in a gang or some shit that's happened by that. So like me, I'm associating guns with that. Whereas it's been crazy, man. Like, so one of my best friends I travel around with on tour, this white dude from Tennessee, or he's from Georgia, but he played for Tennessee. And like, we're chill, whatever. And then he's a dude who's like, yeah, man, like I grew up, I'm going out back, just like shooting random targets. Like that's like how he grew up. And like, I was like, yo, like we literally grew up in different worlds, bro. Like we grew up in the same country, but it's like a complete different world. And then, like, guns basically just like freak me out.
So are you like anti-gun, or do you just really not have any stance, but you aren't into them?
I don't have a firm stance. Like I don't think like as a country, like
they should be banned, or they should do this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
they should have a policy against them.
Yeah, exactly. But like, for instance, like in Chicago, I don't think you should have a gun because in Chicago, like shit goes down. Like in New York, I know they've got like a strict ass gun policy. Like I don't know the specifics of it, but I just remember when like Plaxico Burress like shot himself, and then he ended up going to jail.
Well, that's because he went to a club with a gun, and he ended up shooting himself in the club. Okay, you can't bring a gun into a liquor establishment.
But I'm saying like in New York in general though, like, you can't have shit.
Yeah, you have to have a permit, you have to have this, you have to have that.
Have like that breakdown. You know? So it's like a lot tougher, I guess.
Like the baby.
Yeah.
So he had a gun and he killed somebody in a Walmart, right? Okay. That was like his latest charge, basically. Mm-hmm. But the charge that once they cleared him for killing the guy, the other charge they had against him was carrying without a permit.
Gotcha.
And then, I mean, kind of if you kill somebody in self-defense, they're going to let you slide, but they may give you a year probation, because you did commit a crime. Like, that's a crime. If I want to take this and I want to carry it and I'm 19, it's kind of a crime. Yeah. But if I use it to defend myself, how can you say I broke the law? Like, I mean, the other guy had a gun trying to kill the baby. So that's kind of the way it works, you know? And I'm pro-gun. I just love guns. I think they're awesome. And I had a buddy, he's been on the podcast too, who's super anti-gun. And he's anti-gun policy, this and the other.
Anything that has
and I said, you look at them like murder weapons, right? Basically. He's like, yeah. Well, for me, they aren't murder weapons. They give that gun right there gives me the ability to defend myself against any enemy, anyone, from stealing anything of mine, from taking my life, from taking my family's life.
Yeah.
That's the power it gives me.
Yes.
You know, it gives me rights. And that's where I see it as valuable. You know, that's where it's like the freedom of speech almost. Yeah. They're valuable rights that give you the ability to defend yourself.
Whereas, like, from my perspective coming in, like, I'd probably flip that. And I'm saying if guns are, like, going from, or they're done from both ends, like, they're gone from your end defending yourself and gone from, like, the intruder and it just becomes a fist fight, like, dudes don't die.
Then it's just flat and even. But you
like
can't,
in the world that we live in, like
in the United States that we live in.
No, I also like agree that, or I don't agree. Like I guess my stance is like guns don't kill people. People kill people. Like that. I completely agree with.
It's true.
But guns make like a easier tool to do that. Yeah. So, but yeah, like recreational, like shooting shit. Like I have no moral issue with going hunting and like that kind of stuff and used for that. But actual, like, how guns have been exposed to me and how I've seen them growing up, like, that's literally been, like, only as, like, a murder weapon. So then I see, like, that. I see, like, police shooting people shooting police, like, that whole, like, button heads, like,
combative,
exactly.
style versus just having guns for the sake of having guns and having fun with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Using them just strictly to protect yourself.
So that part I find, like, just different, I mean, that's growing up in an urban city in an area where it's just like seen as that.
Yeah, and for me, I also like, because I was thinking about this a lot one day. I'm like, all right, so how do I rationalize AR-15s? You know, like 30-round magazine.
I don't know anything about AR-15s. Was that just automatic deals?
Well, all right.
You gotta break it down for me, bro.
This is a semi-auto.
Okay.
It's empty. Okay, nothing's in there. And that means it takes a magazine, you have to put one in the chamber, and you pull the trigger, the slide goes back, chamber's another round, right? Okay. So that's a semi-automatic. You can't buy fully automatic that just go like, you know, the drug dealers or the Mexican drug dealers and shit like that.
Yeah.
So an AR-15 is basically the same concept as this, but it's built on a rifle platform.
Okay.
You know? I can show you one if you really want to see.
You're good.
Anyways, so you can put them up to 30 rounds, you can put them to 100 rounds, you know, in the magazine.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are against them because that's so much killing potential. You know, you have a revolver, you only can put 5, 6, 8, however many it is. But then I was thinking, I'm like, all right, how do I rationalize? Because I really wanted to rationalize
to be able to, like,
it. I'm
figure that out.
Fuck, like, how can I convince myself that is totally reasonable? I'm like, all right, I got it.
Okay.
You've seen my mother, right? Little lady. If I hand her a .357 Magnum, okay, with 6 shots, and it's a 6-inch revolver, she ain't gonna be able to shoot it. There's no way.
Yeah.
But if I hand her an AR-15 with 30-round capacity, which is very simple to operate, you just put one in the chamber, just like this. She's got 30 rounds of killing power. If somebody wants to come at her, you know, she's a defenseless lady. With that gun, she is not defenseless.
Yes.
With another gun, she's not going to be as able to defend herself.
So how would you what's the word I'm looking for? How would you decide or qualify who can carry what guns or whatever?
Well, then it's just if she's a person and she can carry that gun, then anyone should be able to, you know, because we're all equal. Now, I think there should be more mental, like
that's, I guess, more where I'm getting at.
Mental vetting.
A dude could have a badass day and be like, yo, fuck you, fuck the world, fuck myself, and not give a single fuck. And if they have easy access to a killing machine, then the world's kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'd be curious your opinion on, like, how do you vet who would be able to get shit?
Well, and here are the other problems. You can't really put in a test because, you know, like voting rights, you aren't allowed to have tests for who can vote because of like Jim Crow laws back in the day. They'd give tests, charge fees, things that certain people couldn't do, period.
Yes.
You know? So it's the same with this. If you're, you know, a little bit on the stupid side, you know, and they won't give you a gun, well, what? Just because I'm dumb, why does that mean I have less rights than you?
Yeah. I guess there's no real way to quantify stability.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess on mine, I would just be like, yo, that's kind of fucked. Like, it'll be too late if a motherfucker's unstable and just like shoots up an entire place. It's like, okay, he shouldn't have had a gun. But then
But then there are other things like
that's fair.
With the Parkland shooting guy, there were already calls made to like FBI, like, yo, this guy is fucking nuts. He's gonna kill somebody. Like, we know he's dangerous.
Yeah, but you can't act on somebody before they do
exactly.
something. Yeah.
And then, the FBI, how serious do they take it? They don't take it serious until something happens. You know, the government isn't the perfect entity like you see it now. Do you follow economics at all, or like what's really going on? Well, you know about the stimulus checks, right? So the government's printing all this money. You know how that works? So they're printing all this money and they're sending out these checks, which is to help the American people. Yes. But in my opinion, I don't know how much they're really helping. Okay. Would it be better to kind of just let the chips fall and see what happens? Or at least when it comes to bailing out these big companies and stuff like that, that's the government making their decisions. Yes. And their decisions are getting us into this financial disaster that we're already in. Yeah. So should they be the ones enacting these rules, or should we kind of report or understand? Does that make sense? Yeah.
And I guess like in a perfect world, like we are the people that put the government in power. Yeah. Like we're the people that voted whoever's in charge. So like you would want to think that we are the people making that decision in general. It's not like the government versus us. Like in theory, we are the government. But yeah, like it's
the way our democracy really works now. Yeah. It's not working, Everyone seems to be getting screwed. Yeah. It feels like they're getting screwed except for the top guys, big guy. Yeah. Big business, big money, stuff like that. They're still winning. How's that? I thought I voted for this guy, Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, that bit's crazy, man. That bit's crazy. But no, like, I do a good job of actively trying to stay in my athletics bubble. Yeah. So, like, yeah, because, I mean, that shows stress me out. Like, money's obviously a real-ass thing. Yeah. Livelihood's a real-ass thing. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky enough to be in a position where, like, shit, my job's hit a damn yellow tennis ball, like, in random countries, like, to do my shit. So my everyday life, like, yeah, it's been affected by, like, the time now just because, I mean, everything's affected by the time now. But, nah, man, that's interesting, man. I don't really know.
I mean, for me, like, staying in a bubble is kind of nice in certain ways, In other ways, I like expanding my horizons, but, like, for me, it's kind of opposite. Yeah. I'm more into the economics and political because that's the sphere I like thinking in. Yeah. But sports, to me, I'm like, what do I care? Like, I don't hit a yellow ball for a living, Yeah. No. So what do I care? I couldn't tell you who's top 5 in the ATP right now. And I used to be a tennis player. Yeah. That's kind of crazy for tennis people, Totally. Or I don't know anything about the NFL, any of those things.
It's just not your thing.
I just don't really care. Yeah. Because how does it really affect me? It doesn't,
Whereas, for instance, like the last election, like I voted for Hillary. Yeah. And my basis of that was because, so Trump was like proposing like the stop and frisk law. Okay. And from my actual like day-to-day life, I felt like this would affect me because I'm a black dude going in white neighborhoods playing a white sport. So I'm going to be the person that looks suspicious or different or whatever. If I'm going to a country club, like why the hell is this dude coming here? And I'm going to be stopping first. So like for that reason, like that affects my day-to-day potential to do so. Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, like that is my reason for getting out to Trump. That makes perfect sense. So that's how it is. But that's because that affects my bubble.
So do you not? But Trump got elected, and there aren't really any stop and frisk rules, right?
I tell people my days haven't changed
at all. So what do you think about Trump?
I honestly don't know shit.
Don't know shit.
That's where I stay in my bubble.
You've heard some crazy shit.
I hear some crazy shit. I hear about like what's on the news. I hear about a whole bunch of quotes and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, what source do I trust to like get my information anyway? Yeah. Because if I look at CNN, if I look at Fox, if I look at whatever, it's going to come at you from this angle, from this angle. Like it's you feeding me the information that they want me to hear. So
no, I think that's cool. If you aren't gonna, it's better to stay out of that bubble because then you're gonna get a certain set. You're gonna get right, left. You're gonna get and then, that
like
part.
I'm forced to choose like all my beliefs have to fall in line with this like kind of thing in general.
That's the biggest thing I say. It's okay. So there's the Democrats and Republicans. How does it make sense that 50% of Americans, or give or take a few percent, think exactly the same way on all these issues, and then the other 50% think exactly the opposite way on all the same issues?
I think that's America, though. I think America has like a me versus you mentality. Yeah. Like it's home team or away team. Like it's
tribalism.
100%. It's just like that's that's how we are as a culture. And then, like you said, like, you're not into sports, but everything in my life ties back to sports. Yeah. Like, it's
our like team versus your team.
It's my team versus your team. If you're a Green Bay Packer fan, I'm a Chicago fan. I'm gonna be like, fuck you. I don't like you. I don't really need to have a reason to not like you or whatever. You're just the away team. You're the enemy. So anything you do,
you're a target.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I kind of see politics. It could be an ignorant ass stance on everything because, like I said, I'm in my athletics bubble. It's different, but that's, I guess, how I see it.
Yeah, I liked. You've seen Rocky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know in Rocky 4.
Keep going.
Drago?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in the newsroom, and I say that we need to get back to, like, that type of feeling.
Okay.
Because when the reporters asked Drago why they want to go back to Russia to fight the next fight, the wife gives him some sob swear, and they basically all go, shut the fuck up. Like, we know you're full of shit, you know? And I feel like nowadays, if we had a common sort of enemy, we wouldn't be so sensitive towards each other, you know? Now, if somebody said that, if a Russian lady said that, the reporters would be, oh my God, are you serious? And they wouldn't understand that it's a line of shit.
Totally.
You know? So why don't we need a sort of, not an enemy, but a focal point for us all to go towards?
To, like, unite.
Yeah.
For or unite against or
exactly.
Unite, like, something like that. Yeah, man, I guess I've just kind of accepted, like, these are the times that you're in. Like, if you say something it doesn't even have to be outrageous. If it's seen wrong by the wrong people, you can be, like, canceled.
Ostracized,
completely by the culture. So that's interesting. I guess I've never really thought about, like, what would stop that, or if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, if it's what. But no, I mean, yeah, in theory, you want the place that you're living to have the values.
Yeah, like, we should be camaraderie, or we should have camaraderie with our fellow citizens. You know,
it's such a big country, man. Because you talk to somebody from LA, you're gonna have some different aspect than if you talk to someone from here. If you talk to someone from New York, Chicago, Texas, whatever, like, fucking Seattle, like, everybody has their own ideas about everything. Whether it's weed, whether it's guns, whether it's abortion, whether it's, like, all these, like, big topics or whatever. You can have, like, 5 different opinions because this country is, like, the size of a damn continent. Like, it's...
But I feel like it'd be uniting. Like, back in the 80s, I don't feel like it was like that.
And that's something I just don't know.
This is from me watching movies and me just understanding certain ideas that it's the same exact thing. If we're all on the same sports team, we all have something.
Agreed.
We're all friends. We're all boys. I don't care if you do a little something I don't like.
Yeah, I still got your back. We
still have a uniting, something that's bigger than that.
Yeah.
So if the guy in Seattle hates, or not hates, that's not the right thing either. But if it has something uniting with a person in Texas, they want the betterment of the country, but through a certain, logical reasons. I don't think the reasons that we're trying to better this country, or the ways we're trying to better this country, are logical right now. Yeah. The Democrats, like the hard liberals, want to cancel everybody, want everything to be free, basically want socialism, in my opinion.
Okay.
And the Republicans... Shit, I don't even know what they want, because Trump has basically destroyed the whole Republican ideals, That's not the way to fix it. Yeah. It's got to be something in the middle. And I don't get why we don't have... The middle should be stronger than the two ends, right?
Totally. Just come to a common, like, okay, like, you guys can have this one, you guys can have this one, but this is for, like, the common good.
Exactly. And, like, you can want together. This, but also understand, like, it's a little fucking crazy, dude.
But, yeah, I think... Like, going, like you were saying, like, going back to the 80s where, like, it made it seem like everything's, like, more united, everyone's, like, kind of together. I think social media has, like, a big thing to do about that. Because literally everybody has a voice. Like, at this point, like, the president has a voice. And let's say, like, Twitter, for instance. I have zero idea what the stats are or something like that. But you take someone like Trump on Twitter has probably 100 million followers or something like that. On the flip side, Kim Kardashian might have 200 million followers.
Fuck ton.
Yeah. So, like, that person's voice, which you can make the argument she should have a voice, she shouldn't have a voice, is more stronger universally probably than the president of the country's voice. So, and then that person has, like, a whole bunch of followers, and they could have, like, one follower, but they can get online just as easily as a president can, type one tweet, and that shit can go viral. So, like, it can be one person in the middle of Nebraska that has, like, an equal voice to, like, anybody. So their opinion's going to be heard, their opinion's going to be heard, their opinion's going to be heard. So in the 80s, like, there's no way that, like, someone in Iowa is going to have their voice heard or something like that, or their complaints validated
less convoluted.
or something like
There's
that.
less ideas in the
the public eye. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing for me is I feel like as Americans, as just people in general, we shouldn't like look to follow so much. We shouldn't be picking sides. Pick your own side. Like, I think if we all thought logically, we'd all come out to somewhat similar and somewhat the right ideas.
Yeah.
If you weren't taking so much influence from Donald Trump, or you weren't taking so much influence from Kim Kardashian.
Home team, away team.
Just think in your head. Well, what do you think's right?
Yeah.
What do you really think?
Which I feel like most people in general, like, what they want to be happy, they want to live a comfortable life, and like everyone can agree on that. How does everybody unite to do that? So that's something bigger to actually look for. Which is, I mean, shit, that's not an easy thing at all.
No, none of it's easy.
Which is crazy. Which leads to good conversations, though.
Yeah, that's
hearing,
for sure.
Different ass perspectives, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. What do you think about the coronavirus thing? You think it's real?
Yeah.
Some people don't, so I gotta ask.
No, that's fair. I've been really lucky, knock on wood, that no one that I know has been affected by it. So I don't know what your experience has been on it.
I don't.
But, I had differing opinions as well, because you see or at least the media that I follow, it highlights the disparities between minorities dying from it and non-minorities dying from it. And then it was okay, is that a money thing? Is that an opportunity thing? But then what was really wild to me is this dude on the Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns' mom died of coronavirus. And I'm holy shit, that man, I don't know, he's probably making $30 million a year. So it's not
so she's doing good.
Yeah, exactly. So she's completely comfortable. She's going to find the top of the line doctors and resources and find a way to be secluded, and this affecting her. So that part was crazy to me, because in a place like New York, there's no one to get out to. If you're in the hood, if you're in the projects, you don't have access to doctors, to healthcare, to all this kind of stuff. So they're kind of screwed. But then you hear some stories of very, very well off people having it as well. It's just this virus isn't discriminating on people. So it's crazy.
That's what I actually made a little podcast before, right when it kind of started, maybe a little after it just started. But I said why the coronavirus is good. It's kind of a unifying factor. Yeah, it's kind of what we all want and need. It's something that, okay, if coronavirus is a common enemy, if your goal is to fight the coronavirus and my goal is to fight the coronavirus, okay. And even now, I kind of feel we are a little bit friendlier. When I see people walking down the street, everyone seems a little bit friendlier, a little bit more grateful for everything they got.
Yeah,
they don't
slows down a shit ton.
So, and they don't seem so pissed off and fucking.
You're spending time with your loved ones. You're kind of going back in time, really. Yeah. Just to more simpler days. But no, I definitely wouldn't say it's a good thing. But it's changed the way I'm living, and changed the way I'm looking at shit in general. But it's shit's crazy, man.
Well, it's like a smack in the face.
Definitely.
And it's here, this is real. Mortality is real. You are mortal. You die at the end of this, and you can die at any point.
True.
That's something cool, especially in this 21st century. I mean, do you really worry about dying on the day-to-day? No. You got food, you got water, you got most of those things. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable living. Yeah. Do you feel fairly, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of oh, shit. Maybe I'll look at my life a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's good for a lot of people, at least, to experience at once.
Yeah. That's fair.
And, I mean, for me, I got a few thoughts on, the economy and shit, Okay. Basically, well, what's happening now
how does this affect, how does this affect the economy, in your opinion?
How does coronavirus?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like it, too, because it exposes everybody.
Meaning?
So you know what leverage is? Mm-hmm. So you use 10% to get a loan for $1 million,
Yeah.
I just use the example because if people don't know, I got to make the example of what leverage is. So anyways, all these people, our economy is just built on leverage. Okay. Everything's been leveraged. The stock market, why is it going crazy? How, okay, when at the height of the stock market, before it crashed, was at 14,000, or the Dow, right? Was at 14,000 points.
Yeah, now you're speaking foreign to me, but keep going.
All right, but you can do basic math. This is very basic. at the height of the Dow, before it crashed in 2008, it was at 14,000 points. Mm-hmm. Then it crashed to 7,000. Mm-hmm. So it got cut in half.
Yes.
Our most recent high, which was about in January-ish, somewhere in there, maybe December, 29,000. Mm-hmm. So it over doubled.
Crazy. Yeah.
It over doubled in 12 years after having 12 years on the height after it crashed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or like, I get what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying, but does that make any sense?
No, it's wild.
How the fuck did it quadruple in value in 12 years?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't make sense. So how'd that happen? Well, leverage. If the government or the Fed lowers interest rates and people can take out money very easily, it's all built on debt because everyone has a payment on everything they got. They're just taking the money basically from the bank and putting it in the stock market.
Yeah.
And it inflates it. And that's happening in a lot of these businesses that are going on happening right now. And that's not a safe, structured, stable way because you're not prepared for if shit hits
something
the fan. Like the fucking coronavirus.
So that's what you're saying, like it's exposing
everybody.
Yeah.
Boeing's the weak. People that are just playing on leverage, playing on, I'm making money, but are you making money legitimately? Are you making money because you actually have a good idea or just because you're taking loans and, like Uber? Mm-hmm. Uber can leverage itself enough to make the company big.
Yes.
But does the actual idea of it work? The people aren't employees, but now they're going to give them employee benefits and stuff like that. So now if you're treating them like employees, guess what? They cost more.
Yeah.
They aren't contractors anymore. Mm-hmm. So Uber may go down. Grubhub may go down. Things like that could go down.
Yeah.
And sure, Uber's a great service, but it's not in the free market. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And if we're actually going to be in a free market, the strong have to survive, or the ones that the market dictates should survive should. The government shouldn't subsidize it. The banks, just because you can get a loan doesn't mean that you should become a successful company.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's basically just like breaking every down to simple, essential shit. Mm-hmm. And then weeding out what is and what isn't.
Yeah, well,
how does that benefit the economy, like in general? Like, that's just me asking you. That's not like...
Well, I got more... think through it in my head a little bit. Mm-hmm. So you understand free market economics?
The basic, yeah.
Basically, if you work in your self-interest and I work in my self-interest, it'll benefit the both of us. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just working for me, I'm not looking out for you, but at the end of the day, we'll both turn out
we'll be okay.
ahead.
Yes.
That's basically the idea. Mm-hmm. So if the government isn't subsidizing, so Uber now is going to ask for help from the government, and we're going to help them, but realistically, they should fail. And then something will replace Uber.
Got you. That's
something
more stable,
better.
More okay.
Exactly. It's the same with these restaurants. Mm-hmm. If there's a restaurant that somehow offers super cheap food, super good, and has a ton of employees and this, that, and the other, but doesn't really own anything or doesn't really provide the service for real, if that makes sense, because of real reasons.
Yeah.
Then shouldn't they fall? Shouldn't a restaurant that's built on more stable, more conservative values, succeed it?
Yeah, it's interesting, man. That's it's something I haven't given thought to. But yes, I guess it kind of all depends on timing as well too, because there could be shit that maybe if given another year, or given a couple months before the pandemic, maybe it could have been.
Maybe it could have, but it's tough. Same with Boeing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Boeing is too big to fail. That's what basically the government's saying.
And that's what I would have thought.
So they're giving them. That's what you would think.
That's what I would. Yeah, because it's planes, everything.
Yeah, it's travel, huge. Everything. They want to bail it out.
Yes.
But shouldn't the idea be okay? Well, if Boeing goes bankrupt, what happens to the planes? They don't disappear. Somebody buys them.
Okay.
Because in economics, this is basic economics. I went to school for a month or two, and this is what I learned. Mm-hmm. Price will fall to meet demand. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yes.
So if no one wants a plane for $1 billion, and no one wants a plane for $500 million, they might buy it at $250.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it works. So why should the government be subsidizing Boeing? Shouldn't the company just dissolve, or somebody will buy the company? That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody will buy the company and run the company properly.
And you're saying if that happens, it gets stronger and it'll be
if that happens, our economy will be Exactly.
Gotcha.
We're built on stable, concrete block. Right now, we're built on freaking toothpicks and chopsticks. That's it.
Yeah. No, that's some shit that like you're into, you're passionate about. Like me, like
You don't care.
I'm listening to you, and like I feel you. But yeah, like I said, my little bubble.
Sports.
That's my bubble, man. Like I can't hit you with like a counter argument. I can't hit you with shit.
I got you.
I'm listening to you. I'm hearing you, bro. Yeah.
I like the questions though. These questions are throwing me off a little bit because it's different. Some people, it's like the same thing. If you talk to people that are only in your bubble, guess what?
Totally.
You're never gonna get a new idea.
100%. And that I mean shit. Like all my fucking life experiences tie back to sports, but I'll give a good example. Like around the Trump and Hillary election, I played a tournament in Harlingen, Texas, and that's a border town. Like literally less than 10 miles away from the Mexican border, right?
Okay.
So at the time, I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ann Arbor, very liberal bubble. Like that's, I think Michigan voted Trump, but like in Ann Arbor, it's very, very liberal.
Same here in like Miami and stuff.
Yeah, so it'll be like that. So basically, like I'm in my bubble, all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, there's actually aren't people that vote for Trump or have any reason to, because we just see all the outrageous shit. Yeah. And then just like, like everybody who votes for him has to be racist, has to be this, has to be that, right? So at this point, like I'm playing like futures level tournaments. So that's like the lowest level, not making shit, all this kind of stuff. So while I'm playing this tournament, the tournament sets you up at somebody's house. Like that's where you're staying. Yeah. So you get to save money on hotels. So it's me and this British dude, and then we go in, and it's nice family, but they're like huge Trump people. And then so me and my bubble over there, I'm just like, oh shit, like this is kind of crazy. Like, what are they gonna think of me? I'm some random black dude walking in their house.
Get out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like on some like, this is crazy, right? And it's right when the debates are going on. Like it's in that period of time. So we're sitting down looking at the debates, all this kind of stuff. And and the entire week completely normal, completely chill. They're making us meals, watching our matches, all that kind of stuff, like crazy chill. Then we're watching this, see the debates, like we're having good conversation, like making our points and whatever. And then like after, like they turn the channel to CNN to see what the crazies are talking about. So, and then in my liberal bubble over there, that's like exactly what we do the opposite way. Like let's see on Fox to see like how the hell they're going to defend Trump and shit like that. So no, it was cool because they were like all for like building the wall. Yeah. And then like from my perspective, I'm like, yo, like that's fucked up. That's racist, like all this kind of stuff. And then their perspective was like, nah, like Mexican people are coming over here, fucking up the crime rate and all this kind of stuff. So they had their reasons that they wanted it that affected their everyday life. And to me, like up there, I'm just like, yo, that's just like blatantly fucked up, but I'm not there. And then I'm staying in their house, so they're clearly not racist people. Like they're chilling, but there's like their safety's in danger or whatever. They have these beliefs. So at the end of the week, like, it was cool. Like being able to have a conversation from someone who doesn't have your background, doesn't share your belief, and then be able to like talk shit, see where they're coming from, see where I'm coming from, like all that kind of stuff. And then, at the end of the day, like me and my boy, we bought them like a Hillary mask just as a joke. They enjoyed it. It was funny. And then it was like super chill. But yeah, like you were saying, like it's important to just like, have different perspectives, seeing some different shit and just like, seeing the world. So it's cool.
I got in like a verbal brawl with my father the other night because like this, you've heard the disinfectant thing with Trump?
Yeah.
How all right. Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
The actual video?
Yeah.
Does he say that you should inject it?
He said you could try injecting it or something like that.
He asked the doctor, right?
Yeah.
He asked the doctor, like, can we look into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I get it. It was stupid. Shouldn't have said. Obviously, bleach into the body does not kill coronavirus. It's not what we're saying.
You say obviously, but that's not obvious to everybody. But
I get it. But it's a stupid question. He should not have said it.
Yes.
Okay? But he didn't suggest that you should try it.
No, he didn't say you should do this.
Exactly.
It was like he said it out loud on a national stage like, oh, like has anyone thought about this? This seems
that's my father's argument. He's like, he said it, he's still fucking retard, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but CNN says, this is just their headline. Trump suggests.
Yes.
That's not right. That's wrong.
Yeah.
So in CNN, I remember watching CNN, or my father watching CNN back 4 years ago, and it was good news. You know, it was just unbiased, pretty much, maybe a little Democrat, but not crazy.
Okay.
But basically, news. That was it. You could watch it, and it wasn't crazy. Now I look at it like Fox News.
Like it's the same extreme.
Like, and Fox News has always been, or it's been crazy for the last few years. I've always known that's super Republican, and they don't lie, but they're bending some shit, you know? But now CNN is bending some shit. And it's kind of disgusting to me that these massive news organizations are, you know, I'm not about fake news and all that shit. I really don't care. I don't think that that's the fact. But I think that now, like, why get rid of your credibility just to try to burn the other guy?
Dude, and there's some good shit, and it's good that you have a podcast, like, about it, because, like, I see, like, Trump saying his shit on, like, surface level. I'm just, like, I shake my head. I don't have, like, yo, this guy's a fucking idiot, this whatever, like, all this kind of stuff. I'm just, like, tallied up, whatever, like, still. It doesn't affect, like, exactly. But no, man, like, that, like, really ticks some people off. And you have your CNN crowd who's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. Like, how could this be humanly possible? And then I have no idea what the Fox side of it. But I agree. It's like, so what media do you want to hear is the shit that you're going to take in? So like,
but that's fucked up.
Very fucked up.
That's fucked up. And how does the media keep perpetuating it? You know, that's what we're in now.
That's what we're in.
That's the 2020. You know, that's the 21st century.
Who knows
now.
What the actual truth is?
I don't know.
Like in most things, you know. In that, like, whatever. But in the most things, like, someone will have a flip on it. Someone will have a flip on it too. And the same thing with, like, me and you talking shit about, let's say, like, guns. Like, I don't think there's, like, an actual truth or actual
there aren't
whatever. It's my opinion. So if I was to write a headline or something about guns, it would look completely different from yours. You're not lying. I'm not lying. But it'll just come in a different way to shape a story in a certain way. But it's. I mean, I guess it's part of what makes America American and what makes it a good-ass place. Like, we're allowed to have this conversation. You're allowed to have a platform to, like, put the conversation out and, like, have all that kind of shit.
And this is more of a platform of freedom of speech and freedom of press versus the actual press, though, now. You know, we're not that. The mainstream press.
There's no agenda.
You know, every mainstream press has an agenda now. It isn't like PBS. It's not like back in the day when you had 5 channels on your TV. You know, ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS. That's really it. You know, now you got CNN, you got Fox News, you got Vice, Fox, all these places.
MSNBC, all this shit. But
whatever. They're all, like, I can basically tell you what side they're all on. That's fucked up.
True.
CNN used to not be on a side, and then it was MSNBC was on the liberal side, and Fox News was on the Republican side. That was pretty simple. That made sense. But now CNN's gone. Each just get taken extreme, down.
Man. It's the for us or against us mentality, man. It's the button heads of everything. So that's the country that we live in. That's how we were raised. That's how we were brainwashed or grown up to be. You know what I'm saying?
So, it just
shit's crazy.
I don't know. It drives me insane. Or not drives me. It's angering. Frustrating. To watch it and see it every day because. You're a rational guy. I'm a hopefully rational guy. We're having we're having a rational conversation. This isn't difficult. I'm not dying trying to do this. You're not dying trying to do this.
But some people, I don't know if it's an ego thing or needing to be right or needing their point to be absolute fact, but some people are just wired that way. That's, like, more combative than, like, having simplicity. Like, a conversation.
You know, if you can't, like, wrap your head around the alternate idea, you know, I think that's a lot of the other thing too. You build all your principles on certain ideas and
dude, and bro, like, I think that's how traveling has helped me a shit ton.
I bet.
Because if I was a kid, so I grew up in Chicago, there's more than enough in Chicago where if I didn't play a sport, I wouldn't have to leave. Let's say, like, I did high school in Chicago. Who knows what I would have done after that? Maybe I go to college, maybe not. Maybe I start working in the city. But then my views and shapes would only be from that perspective, from what I see there. Like, I would never see a other side that made sense. Just because I was...
You have never went to Texas and saw those people.
Exactly. Like, I would have never been like, okay, like, these are real humans. I would have never left the country. And, like, I've been to China a couple times. Like, China's chill to me. Like, it's cool. Like, I know there's mad beef and tension and, like, all that kind of stuff. But, like, I see those people living. I see myself in Chicago talking to you, having a conversation, seeing where you're coming from, talking to different competitors out here playing. Like, and it's crazy just, like, sharing stories. Like, for instance... like I met this dude from Serbia, right? And he's about my age, maybe like 27, 28. And he grew up like in a war. And the war was between like us and like, Serbia, Bosnia, like all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I didn't learn that in school. Or if I learned it, it got glossed over and I didn't even remember it. Whereas this kid grew up and he grew up like US is bombing us, like we're having this experience and that's like shaping his life the way it is. And he travels enough, like he has no ill word towards me, like I had nothing to do with it. Like I wasn't bombing his family or anything like that. But it's like, holy shit, like this is a major ass part of your life I didn't even know about. Like I didn't like grow about it. So it's cool hearing like different perspectives and stories and just like random shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean I think it's just important to be able to, you don't even have to agree with the other side, but just listen to it
and give it a chance.
Understand it.
Yeah.
I don't agree about that guns are murder weapons or like, you know what I'm saying, that they're murderous, you know, just murder machines. But I understand why you think that. Yeah. If you know somebody or you know somebody who knows somebody who's been shot, you know, or something like that, and it happens often, it's a common problem where you're from, okay. Yeah. I understand why you don't like guns. Yeah. I live in Bradenton. Yeah. We don't have
different culture.
Totally different culture. It's also, I feel better that I want to protect myself with a gun. You know, if someone else might have one, which in America, there's no way that guns are going to get gone. I want the ability to have one, period. Straight up. That's just what I want. Yeah. So you don't have to agree with that idea, but I think you can understand it. Totally. You know where I'm coming from. Yeah. You know, and that's valuable. So I'm not so quick to say, oh, he's just a fucking retard, like, or enemy or libtard, you know?
I think for me, like, that literally comes from travel, bro. Like, if you're talking to me and I'm just only seeing Chicago and all that kind of stuff, I might look at you sideways, being like, what the hell are you talking about? Guns are like the worst thing like ever or something like that. But I've had enough people who had like different views different experiences growing up that like shaped them or have different opinions now that they learned or did research or whatever, or has it this way that they can, I don't know, man. Like you said, you got to be able to like listen to it, take and that's it, why not, I think, like judge based off of somebody's like idea or some shit like that.
That's why tennis guys, you know, most tennis guys, I feel like, you know, there's always some dickheads, you know? Totally. But most of them, you know, I see a tennis guy, I can hang out with a tennis guy. We don't really have to talk about everything. I don't have to know your life story, but you kind of all have a similar vibe because, you know, especially here at IMG, you got kids coming from every country. Everywhere. You know, everywhere. Totally. You're here, everyone's here. Yeah. And
everyone's got to coexist.
Exactly. And you're brought up, so I can't hate this. Well, somebody just lost the fucking point, and it was a very pivotal point, and someone was very fucking pissed off about it.
Welcome to tennis.
Yeah, but, you know, you can, and then it's the same thing out there. You can fight, you can be fucking cussing at the guy, or, you know, during the point, want to fucking kill the guy when you're playing the match. Yeah. But then once you're done, it's like,
you can have a beer
hey, man, you're just another guy. You're trying to do the same thing to me, but it's neutral. Totally. You know, once you get off the court, it's done.
Yeah. And it's crazy how that is because, like I was saying before, like tennis, one-on-one sport, my best versus your best, whatever. But at the end of the day, like you're all traveling the same tour. You don't want to be a complete asshole because, like, you don't want to be alone while you're like doing that. So you build relationships, and then like I want to take dudes' money when I'm out on the court. Like I'm trying to win, I'm trying to get paid, I'm trying to achieve my goals or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I'll chill, whatever, grab a beer, talk some shit, and then that's it. Go back at it the next day. So. We're able to do that, I think, decently well on tour.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hope so. Yeah. And I think in the junior...
But like you said, there are some dickheads.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't ever change.
Yeah, but that's in any profession. Like, like, and then some people do mature and some people grow up. Like, some people are asses in the juniors or even in college, but then, like, I'm chill with now or I see, like, in a different way, too. Like, if I play a dude in college and I was like, yo, this guy cheated my ass off, was in my face, all this kind of shit. And I was like, oh, like, this is a normal dude, just a competitive-ass motherfucker, like... It's like, it's chill, man.
And it's the same thing, like, so say you got that guy who's been cheating a lot, but maybe you cheated when you were younger, but then one day you got straightened out by somebody. They either cheated you back hard, they beat the fuck out of you, like, they cussed you out, something like that. And then after that, you don't cheat. But that guy never had that experience. Yeah. But once he has that similar experience to you, then maybe he straightens up. Yeah. You know, and that's the same idea. It's a lot of the more similar experiences you have, the more commonalities, you know, or common conversations you have.
Totally.
That equals a better coexistence.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
True. I agree, man. Shit crazy.
I don't know how long we've been talking for. I think it's been a little bit. I don't know, probably over 15 minutes, like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Does that sound? Are you good?
I'm good, man. Unless there's anything else you're trying to cover. Anything else on your mind?
No, I mean, this has been great. It's been good to get one in. And
most definitely, man.
Awesome.
It was fun out here. Something different. Change up the day. Good conversation, dude.
Yeah, good way to kill some time. Well, we are. Do you want to plug the international? Nah.
What's up?
Do you want to plug the tournament or no?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, it's...
you can watch it. Fuck that. You can watch Evan King live on ESPN 3 at some point this next coming
Thursday
week.
Or something like that. Come cheer me on. I guess don't come cheer me on.
Don't come cheer him on. There are no spectators, but you can cheer him on online. And I'll try to get this out ASAP.
Follow the career, man.
You got an Instagram? I'll put your Instagram link in the bio.
Yeah, man. Evan King Chicago. That's all my handles on everything. So yeah, man. Just I appreciate the time, man.
Thanks for having
me.
All right.
Easy.
Thanks, man. Later.
Easy.
Oh.